In the end, all we are is our story. What is your story, and what do you want it to say about your life? I'm Ann C.K. Nickel, a living, walking miracle who is on a mission to transform 1 million lives, one story at a time. Help me reach my big, audacious goal by joining me each week as we discuss all things story. Welcome to the Story Shepherd Podcast. Hello, everyone. It's a new, beautiful day. This is Ann C.K. Nickel, the Story Shepherd, living life on the upside and sending blessings to you all for a wonderful new week full of possibilities. What are you doing with your one precious life? The current life expectancy is 79 years. That's 28,835 days, 4,120 weeks, and 948 months. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Well, once you turn 18 and officially start adulthood, you have 61 years or 3,180 weeks. That's only 3,000 Mondays to complain about, only 3,000 hump days, and only 3,000 weekends. That's if you live until 79. I don't mean to be morbid, but sadly, some people die young. I was reminded of this recently, which made me ponder how I'm living my one precious life. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. Therefore, we must treat every day as a gift, celebrating each one so that we don't end up living or dying with regret. So what will you do with your days so that you have no regrets? Here are 11 things you can do to start living your life without regret. 1, be true to yourself. Be who you are and who you want to be, not who someone else wants you to be. In life, there are so many expectations, those we place on ourselves and those placed on us by others. For the ones you place on yourself, sort through them and decide which ones are truly important and remove the rest. For the ones others place on us, ignore them, toss them aside. Don't make living up to expectations a full-time job. Instead, take some time to figure out who you are. Write down the things you love and the things you want to do, and do them. Do more of what lights up your soul. If you love pink and want to paint every room of your house pink, do it. Now, with my real estate background, I know there are a lot of agents out there cringing right now, screaming, "No, don't do it. It will never sell." But ignore them. Enjoy that pink house, make it yours, and love it. And if you decide to sell someday, to buy a big pink dream house, then you can paint those walls white so the next owner can paint it their dream color. But don't change it now to appease someone else in the future. Maybe you love dressing all in black or all brown, but your family insists you add some color. Or maybe you love wearing white even when you go out for barbecue. Now, anyone from Texas knows how risky that is, but that's why we have stain remover. Go ahead and rock that white shirt. If you love piercings and tattoos, get some. If you don't allow someone else to pressure you into getting one. Dye your hair black, blonde, pink, blue, or green. It's okay. It will grow out, or you can dye it again later. Listen to rock, Christian, pop, or classical music. Go out dancing or stay at home and read a book. Buy the expensive party dress or show off your skills and make your own. The point is, be you. Be who you're meant to be, not who someone else wants or expects you to be. You can only do that for so long before it makes you miserable. Your uniqueness is a gift. Embrace it and be true to yourself. 2, express your feelings. Don't leave them bottled up inside. That can be detrimental to your mental and physical health. Now, it may be a little scary, but if you love someone, tell them. You may worry that they don't feel the same, or if they do, it won't last, and you worry that your heart may be broken. And it's true, love comes with some risk. All great things in life do. That's how you know it's amazing. If you aren't brave enough to take some risk, you'll miss out and won't reap the rewards. The first time my boyfriend told me, "I love you," I didn't say it back. I felt it, but I was too afraid to say it, thinking it was too soon and fearing that it wouldn't last, or maybe he would promise love now and then abuse me later, as my ex did. I regretted it later, and I did tell him I loved him, but that first magical moment was gone, and I can never get it back. And it's also scary to share when you're hurt, angry, or disappointed. Do it anyway. Share it in a calm, kind way and have a constructive conversation. And if someone has the courage to share that with you, accept it in the same calm, kind way, and you'll feel better afterwards. Cry when you need to cry. And if you do, go all in and make it a really good cry that leaves your eyes red and sore. Laugh out loud with your friends and family in public. Let loose that belly rumbling laughter that makes you cry and aches in your face and stomach. And if you feel like singing, sing. Belt it out, even if you are off key. Dance while doing your chores or do a little shimmy during your daily walk. Don't be afraid to express it. And sometimes you will want to scream or shout. Go ahead, but try not to frighten the neighbors. Sometimes you may want to break something. A therapist once told me that breaking something can be healing, but to do it safely. She suggested I get a metal trash can and some old ceramic plates, ceramic tiles, or some clay pigeons, something that sounds good when it breaks. Put on your goggles, gloves, and other protective gear, because it's better to be safe than end up in the emergency room with a deep, bloody gash. Then throw those plates or tiles into that metal trash can and relish the sweet, smashing sound as they shatter into pieces. Keep throwing and screaming and get it out of your system. You'll relieve that stress and feel so much better. And express your faith and love of God. Not everyone believes as you do, and that's okay. But don't let your fear of offending someone keep you from expressing your faith. It's a part of who you are. I love sharing my faith and my story of how God blessed me with miracles. I know not everyone will receive it, but for those who do, it has transformed their lives. So if that is a part of your life, express it. Whatever you're feeling, express it. Don't keep it bottled up inside. You'll sleep better at night and be happier and more relaxed during the day. 3, face your fears. I talked about overcoming your fear in last week's episode. If you haven't listened yet, do that next. And as I mentioned last week, fear can manifest in many ways. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of failure, and even fear of success. It's important that you find a way to conquer your fear, to not let fear conquer you. If you don't, it can hold you back, destroying your chances of achieving your goals and dreams. For years, I wanted to be a storyteller and a speaker, but I only put myself out there a couple of times. I let the fear of rejection and failure hold me back. Well, a year ago, I heard about a speaking competition that was described as the American Idol for speaking. With my heart pumping wildly in my chest, I registered to audition in Dallas and reserved a room for the night before so I would have no excuse to not show the next morning. Even then, I almost didn't go. I was so nervous that my palms were sweaty and my throat was dry. But I showed up and I saw all of the other people who were just as nervous as I was, pacing back and forth as they practiced their talks. When I gave my first 1-minute talk, a lot of the others in the room gave me high fives and told me they loved it. Then I entered a different room with a different judge to give my 2-minute talk, and that judge gave me a compliment. And at the end of the day, I was awarded a golden ticket and an invite to compete in the semifinals in Miami. Thousands of people competed, and I made it to the top 150, my first time ever speaking. I didn't win, but I didn't let that get me down. I conquered my fear and accomplished something great. I met some amazing people who are now friends and supporters, and that made a huge difference in my life. Some of the most amazing things in life are on the other side of fear. Face your fears and experience those wonders instead of living with regret. 4, forgive yourself and others and don't hold grudges. We've all been hurt in our lives, and sometimes we hurt others even if we don't mean to. Things happen. If you've done something to hurt someone else, but are truly sorry and want to make up for it, make amends if you can and ask for forgiveness. If the only thing you can do is forgive yourself, then forgive and let go. Don't hold on to it. If someone hurt you and you have the opportunity to discuss it with that person, then do that. If they understand and ask for forgiveness, then forgive them and let it go. You don't need to forget or put yourself in a position to be hurt again, but you do need to forgive. Now, if someone hurt you and either they're no longer around or they haven't asked for forgiveness, you can still forgive. This is what holds up some people. They believe that the other person has to ask for forgiveness. That's not true. I had that epiphany at a storytelling conference years ago. We were separated into circles, and our circle was given the prompt of forgiveness and asked to tell a story about that. I had recently been hurt by several in-laws, and it was eating at me. I started thinking about forgiveness, and when it was my turn to talk, to give a new idea on forgiveness, it hit me. Forgiving was for me, not them. They didn't want forgiveness. They didn't think they had done anything wrong. So that hurt kept chipping away at my insides, making me sad, bitter, and angry. As long as I held on to that, the hurt wouldn't go away, and their hate would keep defeating me. So wouldn't it be better to forgive and let go? So that's what I did. I didn't need to talk to them or make them a part of the process. I pictured each one, thought about what they had done to hurt me, And then I said out loud, I forgive you. And when I did that, truly forgiving them, I released that hurt and that bitterness, and it freed me, removing its power and the hold it had on me. I had the power to forgive, let go, and move on with my life. And you can do the same. 5, travel, explore new places. God created a big, beautiful world full of lush green hills and valleys, deep blue oceans, towering mountains, winding rivers, and a vast sky full of stars and other wonders. Take time to discover it and expand your horizons. Traveling, especially with friends and family, creates beautiful memories. Possessions come and go, but those memories last forever. They can be passed down to the next generation, leaving a legacy. Taking a vacation and visiting a new place gives you a new perspective, and it allows you to relax and unwind. That boosts your mental health. Traveling gives you the opportunity to experience other cultures, sample new cuisines, and find a new interest or hobby. When I visited Scotland, I fell in love with the people and their accents. I loved hearing the bagpipes play on street corners, and I enjoyed some of the food. Not all, but some of it. And when I returned to Texas, I discovered and attended an annual Celtic festival, and I return almost every year to experience the music, the dancing, the food, and the competitive spirit of the Highland Games. Now, you don't have to travel the world. You can drive to another state or another province and experience the different seasons, foods, and festivals. If you live in Texas, as I do, you know you don't have to leave the state to experience something new. Texas is so big, I still haven't explored it all or discovered all of its many wonders. And if you don't have a lot of time, take a day or a weekend trip. So try this for fun. Pull up a map and see what's within a 300-mile radius. If there's a place you haven't been that looks interesting, pack an overnight bag and drive there. If that place has an ocean, lake, or river, pack a swimsuit. If there's a forest or mountains, pack your hiking boots. Go and explore. You don't have to travel far to do something new and fun. Even with fuel prices, flight delays, iffy gas station restrooms, and stinky hotel rooms, I have never regretted a trip. Each one has been an adventure that I will never forget. And as a writer and a storyteller, they've given me some interesting stories to tell. So travel near and far and share your own stories. 6, be adventurous. Do new things. Humans are curious by nature, and it's important to feed that need. Trying something new does that by stimulating your brain. One of the worst things in life, I believe, is being bored, because that means you're not enjoying each precious moment of your life. Doing something new keeps you from being bored. And trying or doing new things can introduce you to things you really enjoy. You may decide to learn Spanish and realize you have a mind and a knack for languages. You may finally give in and try sushi, love it, and realize you've been missing out on something delicious. And I remember the first time my mom tried queso. She reluctantly dipped in a chip and took a small bite, thinking there was nothing good about runny cheese. Well, that one bite turned into many more, and she couldn't get enough. And we both learned you can discover new things you love at any age. And doing new things can also help you discover your purpose. You could take a cooking class and discover that You have a talent for creating mouth-watering pastries that bring joy to others' lives. You could enter a speaking competition and be told that you have a message to share and a talent for inspiring and motivating people. You could write poetry or stories that make the reader weep and decide to become a better person. But you will never know if you don't try. So get out there, do something new. Don't regret not trying. 7, pursue your dreams. Is there something you think about all the time? Something that you can talk about for hours if given the chance? Something that, if you achieved it, would be the highlight of your life? If so, go after it. Pursuing and realizing a big dream inspires you to do even more, and it inspires others to follow their dreams. It makes you happy, excited, and energized, which improves the rest of your life. I dreamed of writing from the moment I first held a pencil in my hand. I loved the feel of writing. I loved using my imagination and putting those ideas on paper. I loved creating stories that made others think, laugh, or cry. And I did pursue it, first writing poetry and short stories, and then starting my first novel. I learned all I could about the process of writing and publishing, taking classes, joining workshops, and attending conferences. I submitted my poetry to competitions and had a few published in anthologies in high school. I was on my way to becoming the best-selling author I always envisioned. But then I let normal, everyday life get in the way. I did the things I was supposed to do, getting a job, getting married, having a family. I still wrote, but I didn't fully commit to realizing my dream. Not until I almost died. That incident woke me up and gave me the push I needed to put pen to paper and finish my first book. 5 months after the incident that almost took my life, I published my first book. And holding that book in my hand was one of the most amazing things I have ever experienced in my life, and I regretted not doing it sooner. Don't regret not following your dream and living an unfulfilled life. Go after your dream and make it a reality. 8, make mistakes. It's okay. As humans, we are imperfect. Strive to do things well, but don't put off doing things because you're waiting to do them perfectly. And don't wait for the perfect time. There isn't one. Just do it, because done is better than perfect. If you make a mistake, correct it and learn from it. Mistakes tell you what didn't work, so you can then try something new. Thomas Edison failed over 2,000 times before he finally succeeded in building a working electric light bulb. That's a lot of failure, but he didn't give up. He wasn't afraid to make mistakes because he learned from each one. The only true failure is giving up, and those mistakes will always feel better than regret. 9, never stop learning and growing. There are so many amazing things in this world to see, to do, and to learn. Now, that doesn't mean you have to earn 3 bachelor's degrees, 2 masters, and a PhD, although you can do that. Formal and informal education and life education are all important. Learning nurtures your innate human curiosity. Learning helps you pursue your passion and interests by developing your skills. Reading or learning another calming activity can reduce your stress level. Learning provides you with more skills and tools, improving how you solve problems and life challenges. And learning keeps your mind sharp so you can enjoy your later years. We not only want to make it to 79 or 80 or more, we want to enjoy it. So keep learning and growing. 10. Be kind to others. Smile at a stranger. Babysit your friend's kids. Mow your neighbor's yard. Arrange a meal service for someone who is recuperating and can't cook. Stop and buy some lemonade from the homemade stand down the street and give the kids a tip. And pray for someone who needs it. Hatred, even towards known enemies, will eat at you, slowly distinguishing the light inside you. Kindness, on the other hand, lights you up and fills your cup until it's overflowing. You can give and give, yet never run out of kindness and love. When I was young, the lay pastor at our church, a kind man and a wonderful friend of our family, gave a fantastic presentation on God's love and kindness one Sunday during the children's part of the service. He placed a large bowl between the kids, showed us a can of shaving cream, and asked how much was inside and if it was enough to fill the bowl. Well, we all shook our heads no. There was no way that small can could fill that bowl. He smiled, shook up that can, and then proceeded to fill the bowl with that thick, foamy shaving cream. He continued to spray and spray it until the bowl was so full the shaving cream was flowing out of it like a river, and there was still more inside. He then told us that was like God's love for us, that it was never ending, and that was also the kindness we should share with others. He said we shouldn't be afraid to give it because there would always be more love and kindness inside to give and still have more than enough love and kindness to give to ourselves. So share that kindness and love and help overcome the hate in the world. Don't regret that you didn't give all you could. 11. Believe in something. I believe in God, and I believe in myself as a child of God. I know others may not believe as I do, but I hope they believe in something. There is no greater feeling than having faith and believing in something like a dream and then realizing that dream. Yes, it feels great when good things happen unexpectedly, but it feels amazing when you know you had a part in making it happen, in making that dream come true. There is a saying, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. I believe there is truth in that. Why would you wander around with no beliefs, allowing life to happen to you, when it's possible for you to move through life with purpose, making life happen for you? I've heard some people say that it's crazy to believe in something you can't see, or they admit they don't want to have faith and believe and risk being disappointed. I would rather get to the end of my life, accomplishing a lot, with a little disappointment that my faith and beliefs didn't get me everything I desired, than to get to the end of my life and realize I could have had so much more if only I'd had faith and believed. That risk is better than regret. So will you do any or all of these things to ensure you live a life without regret, or any more regret than you already have? Years ago, I attended the funeral of a friend who had died too young. My heart broke for his wife, his kids, his friends, and all of the other acquaintances who called him friend because of his kindness and generosity. And towards the end of the funeral, the pastor addressed the elephant in the room, the fact that my friend had died young. He assured us that he believed my friend had no regrets. For in his short 50 years, he lived a full life. He worked hard, played hard, loved deeply, laughed often, traveled and experienced some amazing adventures, and he prayed for and helped others. The pastor's words comforted me, but they also made me sad because I realized I already had some regrets in my life and I didn't want to have any more. And I started making some big changes in my life that same day. How many weekends do you have left in this mortal world? How many days do you have to pursue your dreams, to make a difference, and to leave a legacy? You have one precious life. Live it, enjoy it, and please don't end it with regret. Thank you for joining me today on the Story Shepherd podcast. Keep creating your epic life story movie, and please join me next time as we continue transforming lives one story at a time.